A record number of CEOs left their posts at U.S. companies in May. 224 leaders stepped down during the month, up 49% from the year prior, according to a report from Challenger, Gray and Christmas. Now, as companies prepare to enter an uncertain second half of the year, plagued by potential recession concerns and still climbing interest rates, what does the uptick in leadership shakeups mean for corporate America? William Cohan, PuckNews founding partner, joins us now. So is there a crisis of confidence at hand?
Well, look, the report does not say why these leaders left, with any specifics. I mean, some left because they retired, some left because they weren't getting the job done, some had personal issues. So it's hard to know why there would be this dramatic uptick. But look, the economy has changed dramatically since the Fed started raising interest rates in 2022. Cost of money is much higher. The stock market is choppier. Interest rates are higher. Companies probably aren't performing as well as hoped. And so, when the team's not playing well, they don't fire all the players. They fire the manager.
What about for companies that are looking across their leadership? And I think of even what's been announced in terms of transition plans. I think one of them that's come forward was within Brian Moynihan over at Bank of America, and now thinking through what's to come there, as well as some of the other major financial institutions this year.
Well, I mean, succession is, of course, the most important thing that a CEO has to do, is find his or her successor. On Wall Street, there have been leaders who've been around for a long time. Both Jamie Dimon and Brian Moynihan have been around, running their companies now for nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely time for succession at both of those places. And but nothing really concrete at either place. At least James Gorman at Morgan Stanley has said that he will be stepping down in the next year, and that there's a three-way competition going on to succeed him there.
Yeah, and thank you for correcting me on that. Even as I'm kind of looking through my multiple tabs of notes over here, it is James Gorman of Morgan Stanley. That's the transition that's being placed. Anybody with 75 tabs open has certainly made a mistake similar to that. But even as we think about now, where for the prioritization for CEOs and for companies as a whole to make sure that their priorities are well laid out to investors, to their internal stakeholders as well, how has the role of the CEO changed so much, even over the past 18 months, to position companies for what that next leg of growth, even after a potential recession, might look like?
It's the biggest challenge that a leader of a company faces. How do you grapple with a slowing economy? On Wall Street, how do you grapple with, a year and a half now of slowing investment banking revenues? Really just have not completely disappeared, but way down from levels that they enjoyed in 2021. How do you grapple with that? How do you grapple with that in terms of paying your current employees? How do you grapple with that in terms of continuing to retain employees or letting them go? In the streaming business and media, how do you grapple with the decline of linear TV at the same time that profitability from streaming is not there? I mean, these are major issues. These are why CEOs get paid the big bucks, as they say. These are things that they have to grapple with, and if they don't, they're going to be the ones who are in the report that you just referenced at the top of our discussion here.
Let's talk specific leaders. You had a piece in the Times about Rupert Murdoch. No one can stop Rupert Murdoch, to quote the headline, and talked about that increasingly being a problem. Can you pull out more of why that is an issue with a tightly held company?
Well, it doesn't have to be. Let's be clear about that. There are plenty of companies with dual stock structures that seem to be running just fine. I think the problem with Fox in particular, as opposed to News Corp, which he, of course, also owns and controls, Fox, is that, we've seen a lot of strange behavior out of that company, much of which was revealed as a result of the Dominion lawsuit that they ended up settling for $787 million, not anybody's favorite moment at Fox. And I think you begin to see revealed a lot of behavior that is frankly unacceptable in a public company, in any company, frankly. And with the dual class stock structure at Fox, who can do anything about it? Rupert Murdoch controls the votes. He controls the management. He controls the board. So when things start going off the rails, as they appear to be at Fox, what can anybody do? What can a shareholder do? What can a board member do? What can another a member of? What can even his own son, who's the CEO, do? And the answer is pretty much nothing. Rupert Murdoch does what Rupert Murdoch wants to do. And again, there are plenty of companies that do have dual class stock structures as well. I'm not saying that, boards are effective there either, but, you're relying, I guess, in that situation on the kindness of strangers to do the right thing. In Rupert Murdoch's Fox Corporation, I think that, he's lost the plot and is not doing the right thing. And there's nothing much anybody can do about it under this structure.
So one more question I want to ask you about Fox in particular. So they just paid out another settlement, much smaller by comparison to that former producer.
Yes.
That was a $12 million settlement.
Yes.
But one more shoe potentially to drop is the issue with Smartmatic, which could be similar to the Dominion settlement, possibly. What are you expecting to come out of that? And does that contribute to the issues that Fox has potentially, especially when you talk about its share price?
Absolutely. These lawsuits should have been settled quietly and long time ago. I mean, the fact that they're allowed, they did not settle the Dominion case. They let it go nearly to trial, settled it the opening day of the trial after discovery had taken place. That speaks to me to be a severe lack of leadership. They at the top, they appear to be doing the same thing with Smartmatic now. Again, I don't know why they would do that. They know by their own analysis of their own email traffic, what they've been doing there. Why they would let this go into the public realm any further than it already is a huge mistake. They should be settling these things, and it looks like the Smartmatic settlement will be even more expensive for Fox than the Dominion. So that's two strikes plus this settlement with their producer. I mean, this is a company, it seems to me, that is completely out of control, and there's nobody that can do anything about it to change Rupert Murdoch's behavior.
William Cohan, PuckNews founding partner. William, always a pleasure to get some of your insights, especially around the leadership and the industry that it's governing over top of right now. Thanks so much, William.
Thank you.